Probably what really happened in the world over the last few years is a performance art crowd in the inside of the international lawnmower warmongering system. When I was a child, a girl named Draxinger, which is like Dracula Singer or Dr. Axe Kissinger, RX, the way Arby's stands for roast beef, ARBY stands for RB, roast beef. I had somebody tell me she was hit by a car and I lost it. I cried for hours. And then she said, I didn't know you liked me that much. She made it up to get a laugh. So they have what people want to believe. Like Kissinger flew off to slap five at the invasion of Donbass barbershop with Putin, Kissinger and Putin sitting in the tree. And they stopped short of ousting Zell, Lenin, Ouspensky. So and they elevate a Japanese woman to third place when Believer falls for the fourth way, which led down the maze to the fourth dimensionalists of Ouspensky's cubism, to the hidden hand of Lenin Zell. People who know about Zell realize that he was speaking about AIDS in a way that shows it was a plan, and that the arc of colors, the Green Party was behind it after they murdered a school bus driver who just happened to be my father. And his obituary just happened to say Donahue, like who done it. Zell was confederated by Peter Gabriel for his daring do in espousing Goebbels, Gurdjieff, and there's a similarity between Gurdjieff and Goebbels. Gurdjieff was in the Third Reich. He was in Vichy Paris, helping the totalitarians virtually. He was a mind reader. One of his acolytes, von Hansen or some, taught Hitler how to hypnotize the masses, taught him the famous movements of Gurdjieff, and which of course bowled over King Crimson. And they named him honorary the JDL warrior from Africa espousing Goebbels. Pitt did. The brilliant suspender beanies of Seattle did, because he alleged that he could prove, presto, virginity was rape. And the Islamos went about regaling with much rejoicing to cover for Gail Burston, a partner of Yoko Ono who continues to work with Tacoma Police, King County Sheriff, in confiscating anything I own for the murderers of my father. This is what Pitt calls the nature of reality. So probably Nosferatu, Putin, and Toon, and Zelensky are all cahooters, along with the Islamofascists. I mean, Iran-Contra was a time when Tehran, who, by the way, met with Michael Foucault, the suicide bomber par excellence of Paris left bank. Iran-Contra found Tehran supporting the Contras, who were fascist mercenaries in Central America. I don't have much good to say about Danny Ortega. He was a parochial weirdo, but the Contras were the worst thing that was going in Central America. And Hamas is Islamo-Contra. They went after the supernova rave because they wanted to help Nosferatu, who smashed Gaza. And the reason is because they didn't like Arab Spring. The Islamofascists don't like regime change, which implies an international human rights movement. And oh, Sabi Sabs gets so confused. I feel so badly for her. You know, the GHF, the Black Panther lunch program at Chop District, poisoned me in the mouth for supporting Arab Spring and refused to allow me to go to school in favor of Licky Chop's confiscation with the help of Zell. They Ripper murdered Shannon Harps. You know, they had evidently the Black Panthers post office union evidently had it all worked out with Clint Eastwood and Putin. No, I'm not fooling. I found a card here from Russian religion, Soviet religion, made out in 1974 by Delia Dugin, D.D., and Wagner. 1974 it's stamped, back in the days of the Scale Burston script. So you're talking about 50-50 thing there with Oswald going to Russia and coming back and forth, KGB, CIA, Kissinger going slapping five with Putin. They're playing a win-lose thing. To the winners go the spoils. It's pure, unadulterated corruption. They murdered a school bus driver. They tortured a deaf man. This is Seattle. The Spinner Beanie Brilliance. Woohoo for Seattle. Tortured a deaf person. Tortured me. Tortured me. I have Parkinson's. They tortured me. And they're all jumping up and down. We have Yoko Ono on our side. She's going to make us rich, rich, rich. The Islamos smashed the rave scene because Nosferatu who wanted to smash Gaza. They were meeting with Sisi in Egypt. It's in Bacconi's book, Hamas Contained. Just look up Trump in the index. They were the Contras who were going to get even for Arab Spring. They were going to put down the People's Movement. Remember Roberto Clemente? The Seattle Brilliance graphed his name for Rosa Clemente, a leader of the AIDS insane asylum, who released it. Jill Stein was in the MK Ultra system. Jill is named as a pervert who gave me a nerve agent for Wattenmaker, a Zionist of Nosferatu, in the Burston script. And Seattle's like, woohoo, we're going to blow up the Magic Mountain with a nuclear bomb, like the Lebanon, port explosion. Woohoo, and Yoko Ono's going to make us rich, 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 rich. That's how fulminating. These people wouldn't have lives if they weren't chasing me around, terrorizing and poisoning me. They wouldn't have lives. They would be empty and devoid of meaning. The sheriff of King County would lose his grip on reality. They have to put out a new carpet for him to chew. If he wasn't threatening me with mouth. And Sabi Sabs is, oh, that's not GA, that's the Madlands cookbook. Because they can't fathom that virginity does not prove rape. They can't fathom this thing. This thing makes Robert Fripp drop his pick. Makes the tears carpet. Makes Donald Trump look for mad scientists to hurt me some more. And Yoko Ono is going to make them all rich, rich.